So wonderful to be here and to be moving together. Let's start by tilting our pelvis into neutral, top bones over bottom pubic bone, and then heel toe your feet out, walk your feet wide. Turn the outer edges of your feet straight, yet still work on opening your inner thighs and tilting your pelvis upright. And then from here, just take a moment and drop your chin down to your chest. Relax the back of your neck, soften your face. We haven't done this for a while in this class, we do it off and on, but if there's a purpose that you'd like to set for not only your movement practice, but for just your life as you go into this next week, what do you want to be more aware of? What do you need to give attention to so that you can take care of yourself and your well-being? And then as you become aware and remind yourself and plant a seed for yourself, let your breath flow with ease. And then slowly slide your head back over your ears without lifting your ribs up. And we'll start with dynamic side bends. So your right arm goes up and over, palm of the hand faces the floor, and then left arm goes up and over. And just start to feel into your body from your fingers to your shoulders, from your shoulders to your hips. As you go side to side, you definitely don't have to move at my pace. If my pace feels good for you, then that's great. And breathing. Keep checking in, thighs opening, pelvis tilting upright. If you find that your pelvis keeps going back even a little bit, get your hips higher. Learn to sit up higher on something once in a while. And then, of course, once in a while, take it out and try and see what it's like. See if maybe your hip musculature has changed and the range of motion to stay upright has become easier for you. Okay, next time your right arm goes over, bring your arm a little bit in front of your shoulder. Rotate so your elbow, bony elbow points forward, palm of the hand faces back. Tap your shoulder and extend. Tap and extend. Tap. Extend, tap, extend, then tap. Bring your torso upright, thighs open and curl your elbow in. Open out to the side, hand is resting about the base of your neck or the back of your shoulder on your shoulder blade, and open. Curl it in, ribs relax down and open. Curl it in and open. Now you're going to hold your elbow open and you're going to bring it forward a little bit at a time, but you're going to roll your thighs in nice and slowly and let them roll open to the outer edges of your feet. If you feel any pressure on your knees, walk your feet a little bit forward. Now bring that elbow in just a little bit, so not all the way forward, just a little bit, lift it up, roll your thighs in and open, elbow in a little bit more, roll your thighs in and open and elbow in a little bit more. Roll your thighs in and open and then extend that arm, bring your hand down and let's go side to side a few more times. Pelvis upright, start with the left arm and then over to the right side. Feeling the waist, feeling the rib cage, breathing here. And next time your left arm goes up and over, bring it slightly forward, rotate so your elbow points forward, your palm of the hand faces behind you. Tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend. Then tap, hold, bring your torso up, your ribs are dropping down. So at first your elbow might not go very high with your ribs dropping down. Open and curl in, open and curl in, open and curl in, open and curl in. Now open and go nice and slow. Let your thighs roll in a little bit towards each other and open out to the side. And then elbow comes in just a little and goes up without the ribs going up. Thighs roll in and open, elbow in a little bit more. Thighs roll in and open and elbow in close to your face. Thighs roll in and open. And then from there, extend that arm, let that arm come down, and then walk your feet in to hip distance apart. And you will Extend your legs long, heels down, toes up, and from here, reach your arms into the air, stretch out through all your fingers, and then we'll close our fingers. Keep your toes relaxed, and as you spread your fingers open, try to spread your toes open as wide as you can. And if you get pretty good, close at spreading them, try to see if you can spread them in a straight line, which is a little bit more challenging to do. And close, and open, and close, and open. All right, let your legs be straight. Bring your arms down with your palms facing forward, just like right above your thigh height, like you're clapping your hands in front of you and opening them out to the side. Bring your hands a little bit higher. Clap in front and open. Arms a little bit higher. Clap in front and open. Arms a little bit higher. Clap in front and open. And then from here, point both of your ankles so that maybe the front of your foot, maybe even your toes come down to the floor. And with your palms facing forward, go down and up with your arms. Continue to point the balls of your feet towards the floor. Keep breathing. Soften your face, relax your jaw. Ribs relax down. All right, next time your arms are straight out by your side with a soft bend in your elbow, rotate your arm bones so your palms are flat towards the ceiling. Now flex both of your ankles, and not just flex and relax. Gently, but actively flex your ankles and actively hold them in flexion as you go up and down with your arms, tuning into your breath. Smooth inhales and exhales. Okay, next time your arms are shoulder height, bring your hands to your shoulders. So now it's like both of your elbows instead of one are out to the side. And with your elbows out to the side, turn your waist to the right and come back to center and turn your waist to the left. Focus on your belly button. Come back to center. Bring your elbows in a little bit. Your hands might slide a little bit back behind your shoulders. Turn your belly button to one side and turn your belly button to the other side. Come back to center, elbows come in a little closer without lifting the ribs, maybe lift them a little higher. Turn your belly button to one side. Focus on the waist as you turn to the other side. And come back to center and elbows in a little closer, maybe a little bit higher without the ribs going up. Turn your belly button to the right and turn your waist to the left. And then come back to center and extend your arms up and arms come down. Actively flex your ankles. Arms go up. Palms come together as close as they'll come. You can tap the top of your head, or if you have the space, you can go behind your head and tap the base of your neck. Watch your elbows. If they pop out a lot, hug them in just a little. Extend and tap. Extend and tap. Extend and tap, extend and tap. Hold, hug the elbows in a little, side bend over to the right. Come up nice and slowly, side bend over to the left. Come up nice and slowly, elbows in, twist your belly button to your right. Unwind, twist your belly button to your left. Unwind, extend your arms up, open your arms down by your sides, rebend your knees, walk your feet a little bit wider than hip distance, turn the outer edges of your feet straight so all of your toes point straight ahead, open through your inner thighs, and then you'll just start to circle your torso in a half circle from one leg to the other side and go slow so you could feel the change in your hip muscles, feel the change perhaps in your lower back spinal muscles, and if any angle feels good to stay at, then feel free to stay there. But take your time, especially at first, at least for the first few rounds, go really slow as you circle your torso around. And tune into your breath. Smooth inhales and exhales. All right, make your way back to center after you go to the right and left one more time. And then reach back and hold onto your chair a little bit lower than your shoulders. Bend your elbows, and if they tend to pop out, hug them in. You don't need to hug them in closer than shoulder distance, just so shoulder distance. And we'll lift our chest up and relax our chest down. Trying to do this motion without your pelvis moving forward and back. So the pelvis stays upright, chest goes up and drops down and back. Chest goes up, drops down and back. Now keep the chest dropping down and back. Try to bend the elbows a little more and hug them in towards each other. Slide your ears back over your shoulders, keeping your chin down. Slowly turn your head to the right. And then let's go over to the left. There's no rush. Feel the muscles of the neck turn over to the right without the torso turning. And over to the left. And let's go two more times each side at your own pace, breathing. Okay, bring your head back to center. If you ever feel like your arms need a break, let them rest. Just come back and do the classes more often. You'll build endurance. It will be better for your body to let it rest. But otherwise, a little more bend in those elbows, hug them in. And now shoulder to ear to right shoulder, chin in, and left ear over to left shoulder. Keep breathing. Right ear to right shoulder, nice and slowly. And left ear to left shoulder, pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Two more each side. Right ear to right shoulder. And left ear to left shoulder. And right ear to right shoulder, take your time. And left ear to left shoulder. And then bring your head up, reach your arms to your side. Reach them up, palms together, bring your hands through heart center, and let's just do that a few times. See how far you can bring your hands down without your hands coming apart, without force, and then slowly take them up into the air. And hands come down, and go up. And hands come down, doesn't matter how high, keep the hands together, and go up. And hands go down. And then you can bring your arms up and release your arms by your sides. Walk your feet in, and let's spin around for our first lunge. So let's spin around to your left. Slide your leg back behind you. Let your knee fall right underneath your hip. And first we'll flip our ankle gently. So put the top of the foot or the top of the shoe down, and then flex your ankle, tuck your toes under, and push back through the heel a little bit. Top of the foot down. Tuck under and press back. And top of the foot down, tuck under, press back. Top of the foot down, tuck under, press back. You want to line up your knee as much under your hip as possible. And then with your toes tucked under, just roll your lower leg a little bit to one side and then a little bit to the other, and see if you can feel the change of the stretch on the front of that thigh, depending on the rotation of the thigh bone, because as your lower leg rotates, you pull your thigh bone into different directions. And let's say you find a particular angle where you're like, oh, I can feel my inner quadricep, that's the front of your thigh, or my outer quadricep more. You can stay there for a moment. But we're gonna do these same rotations, but changing the entire angle of our lower leg, which will kind of put our thigh bone into a different rotation, and then we'll rotate from there. So take your foot and step it out away from you a little bit. The knee is still bent, the foot just hopped away, and little motion side to side there. Nothing big. We actually want the motion to be small. Connect the foot motion to what you're feeling in the ankle and the lower leg and the front of the hip. And then bring that foot back behind you, right in line with your knee, and then take it over towards the chair and rotate a little bit side to side. And if you went too far because you don't have any rotation, just bring it back a little bit And feel the connection around the hip muscles all the way to the ankle. Breathing. All right, bring that foot straight back behind you, slide it forward, and spin around to the other side. So knee slides back right underneath the hip, outer edge of the front foot is straight, ankle right under the knee, just getting into habits while we practice. And first we'll go from the top of the foot to flexing the ankle, tucking the toes under and pressing back through the heel gently. Top of the foot and ankle tucks under and reach back. Top of the foot and tuck under. Top of the foot and tuck under. Gently hold there and rotate a little bit side to side from the lower leg. Feel the connection to the back of the thigh, the front of the thigh. Maybe you can even feel up into the hip as your leg bone rotation changes. Are you clenching anything? Try to let go of clenching. Okay, hop that back foot a little bit away from the chair and a little bit of rotation there. Okay, hop that foot back behind your knee and then go towards the chair a little bit and a little bit of a rotation there. A little bit goes a long way. Especially when it's a little bit done more often. All right, hop that foot back behind you, slide it forward, and then spin back around to the front of the chair. Scoot over so your left hip is in the center of the chair and extend your right leg straight out to the side. And then from there, we'll reach our right arm with our ankle flexed and our toes pointing forward. You can be on the sole of your foot or the inner edge of your foot. I would mix it up. Sometimes do one, sometimes do the other. Palm face up, arm goes up into the air, hand to the shoulder again. Watch how that elbow likes to pop out. Hug it in a little, ribs relax down, lift up through the elbow, and then you're gonna bend away from your right leg. Breathing, and come up. And we'll do that one more time. Bend away from your right leg. And come up. And now twist away from your right leg. And back to center. And twist away from your right leg. And back to center. Extend that arm, hand comes down, slide the leg in, walk over so your right hip is on the center of the chair, your left leg extends out, point your toes forward on the inner edge or the sole of the foot. Do the same thing on one side that you did on the other side. Keep some awareness on your leg because that foot will often want to start pointing. And then reach your left arm forward, hand to the shoulder, elbow up without the ribs up. And if I wish I could show you when I first really dropped my ribs down and back, my elbow barely went anywhere. So if that's the case, stay there and work there. You can probably drop your ribs down more than you realize. And then from here, elbow hugs in a little, side bend away from your left leg. And come up nice and slowly. And side bend away from the leg. And come up nice and slowly. Twist away from your left leg. Elbow up, ribs drop down, and unwind, and twist away from the leg, and unwind. Extend that arm, bring it down, walk, bend your knee, and walk your foot in. And now with feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, you can either use a block or whatever you use for a block inside your left foot to cross your ankle over, or you can cross your ankle over your knee. And from here, with your ankle over your knee, sit up nice and tall in your pelvis. So when it rocks back, tilt it forward, whether you have your foot on a prop or on your knee. And then reach your arms out to the side, cactus arms, and curl your elbows in. And open up. Go nice and slow. Try to feel all the ranges of motion as you bring the elbows and hands together. And open. And bring them together. And open, and bring it together, and open. Now with your arms out to your side, elbows bent, How about rotating your forearms? So the wrist and the hands just go along. You're rotating from the elbow, rotating your forearms without any force. If you feel any discomfort in the upper body, the first thing you want to check is, can I drop my ribs down and back a little bit more? And then from there, extend your arms, lower your hands down, and hinge forward a little bit. Try to feel like you have equal weight on both of your legs, letting that thigh drop open to the floor. You can put your hand on your thigh to put a little bit of weight there, nothing aggressive. And then slowly come up and let's switch legs. So either block inside the right foot or just ankle over the knee, flexing the ankle, tilting your pelvis upright, letting that thigh drop open. And then from here, we're gonna have our elbows by our sides, ribs relax down, and open and close the arms. And this is called server arms, palms flat towards the ceiling. Very, very effective at help balancing the shoulder girdle, even though it's such a small movement. Tilting your pelvis upright, ribs relax down. And then go slow for a few, like really open your arms slow and really bring them in slow. So you can feel the change as the bone moves. You pull on the muscle in different ways. You create different forces. You create different loads. And then hinge forward nice and slowly here. Try to feel like both hips are equal on the chair, rotating your pelvis forward. Maybe put a light weight on your left thigh. Your hand just gently presses down into that thigh. All right, and come on up and uncross. And we're gonna do one more lunge on each side. So let's spin around to your left. Slide the leg back, set up your lunge. If it's comfortable, you can switch back and forth between top of the foot and toes tucked under, but more often toes tucked under, because more often most of us need to work on that ankle flexion. Front ribs relax down, reach your outside arm out to the right, and actively but gently extend your wrists so your fingers point up. Spread all your fingers gently. Keep your fingers spreading as you turn the wrist down. And flip the wrist up. Turn the wrist down, fingers spreading, and turn up. And wrist turns down, and wrist turns up, and wrist turns down, and wrist turns up. And then bring your hand down by your side. If your leg cramps at all with what we're gonna do next, just slide it forward and rub out the back of the leg at all. Take your time, go slow. It will help reduce cramping, but start with your ankle a little bit away from the chair. So hop it out a little bit. And from here, how about micro lifting the toes up off the floor? And it's not uncommon if you're new to this that it feels like your foot won't even come up off the floor. It's just showing you a very common muscle imbalance, but as you work on it over time, it will come with more ease and without cramping, but that takes some time often. Breathing. And remember, you're getting, because your leg is at a different angle, you're just targeting certain area of the back of the leg. And now how about taking that foot over towards your chair a little bit and lifting and lowering a little bit there. And it should target a little bit more of your inner hamstring area, closer to your inner thighs, as you lift and lower. And at first they might be very quick, and then over time you can slow down the process a little bit more and hang out with your foot in the air for a second longer. Okay, bring your ankle straight behind your knee, and how about there? And the work should feel more centered through the back of the leg and the buttocks. All right, from there, slide that leg forward, heel down, toes up, hinge forward a little bit, and come on up and switch sides. Spin around to the other side. Start with your ankle right behind your knee, toes tucked under if it's comfortable, or shoe tucked under. And then from there, reach your arm out to the side, extend your wrist, fingers point up, spread all your fingers gently, and wrist turns down, fingers spreading, and wrist turns up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up. And then from there, let your hand come down, slide that back foot a little bit away from the chair. A little bit goes a long way, and lift and lower. And let's say you're not getting any lifting action happening, then maybe bring your foot back a little bit and see if that helps. Ribs relax down, breathing, stretch the leg long if anything cramps, and then go a little bit slower. Cramping is not a bad thing though. It means the muscles are like, hey, they're waking up, they're starting to work. And then bring your foot over towards the chair and lift and lower there. And then bring your foot straight back behind your knee and lift and lower there. And it should feel a little bit more centered on the back of the leg. All right, slide that leg forward, heel down, toes up, and hinge forward a little bit. Breathing. All right, come up, bend that knee, slide back around to the front of the chair, ankles hip distance apart, ankles forward under the knees, trying to come up with less momentum. As you come up, not only watch the momentum of going forward, but if your inner thighs tend to clench in, keep those inner thighs open. As you hinge forward, push through your feet, push your hips back and come up nice and slowly, and then come around to the back of your chair. Putting a hand on either side of the chair, walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs, breathing. Smooth inhales and exhales. Relax your belly so your tailbone can go up into the air a little bit more. And I was dropping my spine down a little bit low. You don't want to start out there. Breathing. And then go ahead and walk on back up to your chair. And then with the outer edges of your feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, you're going to push down through your outer right hip. Hug it in if it tends to pop out to the side, and tuck the top of the left foot behind you, top of the foot stretch. And there are a few things you're working on when it comes to balancing here. Does your weight drift forward to the front of your foot? Back your thigh bones up. Does your hip pop out to the side? Hug it in. Another thing you can work on is, do your hips twist a little bit to one side or the other? So try to equalize the hip bones across the front of your pelvis. And then let's switch feet. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your outer left hip, hug it in, tuck the top of the right foot behind you. Check, where is the weight over your heel? Are your hips twisting? So we don't talk about that one too much, but very important. And then just work on that balancing, a little bit of pelvic lifting, a little bit of pushing down through that hip. And those alignment skills videos are up on the site now, feet straight, ankles hip distance. Even if you've been doing them a while, go back and re-watch, and you don't just want to assume that you are in alignment, because remember, over time, as your muscles wake up and as your range of motions change, you will have to make subtle adjustments to bring your feet straight, to bring your ankles hip distance apart. So keep measuring, not just always looking is great, but also measuring every once in a while to check in and see where you really are is a great tool. Okay, bring that foot back. Grab whatever you're going to use for a calf stretch. I'm going to use a thin block. You can use a dome. You can use a rolled up towel as an excellent tool. Put the ball of your right foot up, your heel down on the floor, outer edges of feet straight, and then you're kind of pushing down through your right leg. And if you're new to this, you might just want to stay here. You might just want to stay in the calf stretch and be still, but otherwise you're pushing down through the heel. And how about stepping your outside foot forward a little bit and stepping it back. And the range of motion that you step depends on how much your muscles start clenching, how much you lose balance or start leaning forward. You want it to be smooth. So even if you start back here and you just step your foot up a little and step it back a little, and then over time see how much of a bigger step can you get without your heel coming off the floor and feeling like it's a very smooth transition. And it will definitely take time, so be patient with yourself. All right, and then switch sides. So put the ball of the foot up, the heel down, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance. Maybe you're just staying here. Maybe you put your foot into a position that you feel comfortable being upright, weight back in the heels, ribs relax down, ears slide back, or maybe you start stepping your foot a little bit forward and a little bit back. Now, when you're stepping your foot forward and back, try to make sure that your hips aren't twisting. So when you step your leg forward, if there's no range of motion in the hip, the spine will start to move and it will twist the hips. So you could even put your hands on your hips and just see that they're staying square as you smoothly step your leg forward and back. And it makes a difference in how you feel the stretch along the back of your calf muscles as well. Okay, let's go back to the first foot. So ball of the right foot up, heel down, outer edges of feet straight. You decide where you want that outside foot to be. And then from here, reach your right arm forward, palm face down, hold onto your upper arm, and gently pull out on your upper arm. So you're stretching the muscles of between your shoulder blade and your spine. Your arm is low chest level. And then rotate your arm bone so your thumb points up and gently pull out on your upper arm. Check, are your hips drifting to one side? Are you steady in the center of your two legs? Are the front of your thighs or your buttocks muscles clenching? Rotate your palm to face up and gently pull out on your upper arm. All right, release, switch feet. Put the ball of your left foot up, your heel down, outer edges of feet straight. Maybe step that outside foot forward a little bit. Find the place where you feel steady. Reach your left arm forward. Start with palm face down. Go across the body. Hold on above the elbow, upper arm, and gently pull out. Breathing. Front ribs relax down and back. Ears slide back over the shoulders a little bit. Are your shoulders hunching up? Relax them slowly and softly. Okay, rotate that arm bone so the thumb points up. Gently pull out. And rotate the arm bone so the palm goes up. Gently pull out. Check out your legs. Are you leaning into one side? Are you clenching your buttocks muscles? Are your ankles rolling to the outside or the inside? Find the center of the heel. Good, and let that arm come back and then move that prop, whatever you were using, out of the way. You can slide it or reach back. And then from here, with the outer edges of your feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, you're going to lift and lower your heels. And you want to try to lift without your ankles twisting to one side. So it's a straight up and straight down. Very helpful to use a chair in this one. So you can really stabilize the whole ball of your foot from big toe to pinky toe. And breathing. And let's say you notice your ankle does roll out a lot. That often means that there's not a lot of stabilization. And that was big for me. It took me probably a year to really get my feet to lift up without my ankles really twisting. And that means that every time you're walking up and down a hill or walking up and down stairs, there's not a lot of stabilization, so your knees are popping in and out and can put a lot of extra pressure on areas of your knee and a lot of extra wear and tear that's unnecessary. So you want to, even if it means you do less range of motion, try to really feel the balls of the feet pressed down equally And then over time, you can work on, instead of pitching forward, of trying to go more straight up and down with your body. And it's harder to get your heels up off the ground the more you're straight up and down. Okay, next time you go up, hold up. Press equally through the balls of the feet. See if you can back your thigh bones up a little bit. Breathing, ribs relax down a little bit, lifting up. Now keep your heels up and roll. Now purposely twist your ankle a little bit from pinky toe side of the foot, slowly over to the big toe base of the foot, ball of the foot, right below the big toe. Rolling your ankle side to side. Keep lifting your heels up. Keep breathing. And then let your heels slowly come down. Walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Reach your right arm on top of your left arm, maybe the forearm, maybe the upper arm with palm face down, and then push your hips back. Chest faces the floor. Then rotate that right arm bone so thumb points up. And pull the hips back. And then rotate that right arm bone so palm turns up. And push your hips back. And then bring your hips forward a little. Put your right hand down. Start with palm face down. Left arm goes over. Lower arm or above. It's okay if it's on the elbow, but you don't want a lot of pressure pushing down on your elbow. So maybe a little bit above or a little bit below. Press your hips back. Chest faces the floor. Rotate that arm bone so your thumb points up. And pull your hips back, breathing. Rotate that arm bone so your palm faces up, or as close to up as you can get it. And pull your hips back. Relax your lower belly so the tailbone can tilt in the air a little bit. You can always check, are your heels as wide as your pinky toes? And then from there, hips come forward a little, arm comes off, walk up to the chair, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance, back your hips up so the weight's over your heels, circle your arms out and up without lifting the ribs, sit back into a chair pose, bring your hands to the chair and straighten your legs and push your hips back. And then circle your arms up, keeping your weight back in your heels. Sit back into a chair pose. Try to lead with the hips going back rather than the knees going forward. Hands to the chair. Back up your thigh bones. And then press into your heels. Circle your arms out and up. Sit back into a chair pose. Tops of inner thighs open. Hands to the chair and back your thigh bones up as you straighten your legs. And last one, circle your arms out and up, sit back into a chair pose, and then from there, straighten your legs as you back your hips up. And this time we're gonna go right back to bending the knees and sitting back in a chair pose. And you're gonna start with your left leg, stepping straight back behind you. Try to land on the center of your foot. So notice if your ankle twists to one side or the other, and then push through the heel of the front foot, the ball of the back foot, to step up, feet straight, ankles hip distance, sit back. Now step your left leg a little bit farther out to the left. A little bit goes a long way, reaching the leg out to the left. And heel of the front foot, ball of the back foot to push off to step up. Sit back into a chair pose, step that left leg across behind. A little bit goes a long way. Try to find the center of that foot and push off to come up. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance, sit back, step your right leg straight back behind you. Now your hip is gonna obviously lean a little to the left, but if it stays out to the left, you gotta hug it in. You're trying not to let your hip go way out to the left. Push into the heel of your front foot, the ball of your back foot to step up, sit your hips back, step your right leg a little bit farther out to the right, breathing. And then push into the heel of the front foot, the ball of the back foot to step up into a chair pose and step your right leg across behind you. Watch that hip popping out to the side, bring it back, both sides of the waist feel long. And then push into the heel, push off the ball of the back foot to come up. Now feet straight, ankles hip distance, sit back, step your left leg back into a lunge, hold on with the right hand, reach your left arm forward without the ribs going forward, ribs back up, arm into the air, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, hold, elbow open, and close, open and close, open and close, open and close. Extend that arm, hand comes down, press off the heel of the front foot, the ball of the back foot to step up, sit back into a chair pose, step your right leg way back, left hand on the chair, right arm goes forward without the ribs going forward. If anything, back them up. The arm goes up, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, hold, elbow opens, curls in, open, curl in, open, curl in, open, curl in. Extend that arm, hand comes down, push off the heel of the front foot, the center of the ball of the back foot to step. Then walk your feet wide. Now I'm going to face this way, but you can just have your feet wide behind your chair, and so that your chair is always there for stability. With your feet wide, weight back in the heels, bring your arms out, cactus arms, ribs relax down, rotate your forearms. Just like we did when we were sitting, nice and gently. First thing, if you feel any discomfort, is ribs relax down. Next is, are you pulling your arm bones back? Bring them forward a little. Let your shoulder blades be wide on your back to create space for all of your joints. Okay, you're going to bring your arms in incrementally. So you're going to bring them like a little bit forward. That's going to be 2. A little bit more forward, 3. Right in line with your shoulders, 4. So we started with cactus arms. Come in just a little bit. Sit back into a squat if you'd like to, and flip your wrists down and back, down and back, down and back, down and back. Excellent. Stretch your legs straight. Walk your elbows in a little bit closer. And then with your elbows a little bit closer, turn your palms to face me, and one finger at a time, tap your thumbs in and extend. Pointer finger, extend. Middle finger, extend. Ring finger, extend. Pinky finger, extend. Curl your hands into little fists. Turn your thumbs back toward you. Sit back into a wide squat. And now your thumbs go in and back. Curl in, just the thumbs. And back. Curl in gently and back. Curl in and back, and then spread your fingers long, open your arms out, extend your arms out as you straighten your legs, bring your hands down, and from there, you're going to heel toe your feet back in to hip distance apart. Stand facing the chair, walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Watch that your spine's not dropping below your hips. So if you're tall, try to work with a higher chair. That's helpful. And then as you push your hips back, just lift your right arm into the air. Breathing. Rotate your hand so your thumb goes up. Rotate so your palm is up. Put the hand back down. Lift your left arm a little without the ribs pushing to the floor. So ribs up. Be conscious though, if you tend to tuck your pelvis under, probably not going to want to work on lifting your ribs up too much first. So pelvis, belly relaxes down. Rotate your thumb up. Rotate your palm up. Lower the hand down. Walk up to the chair a little bit. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your outer left hip. If it tends to pop out, hug it in. And slowly lift your right leg behind you as your weight forward in the front of your foot, back your weight up into your heel. The more that this hip crowds your waist, the more that your right hip is going to roll open. So if you can draw your hip back, you'll turn your right hip to the floor and square your hips and lift through the back of the leg instead of the side of your hip. And then lower your foot down. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Push down through the outer right hip, hug it back as you lift the left leg into the air. First check, is your weight forward? Back it up. You might just stay there. Now, the more this hip rolls open, it means your right hip is going forward, so pull the right thigh bone back. The hip will square to the floor, and then lift through the back of the leg instead of through the side of the hip opening. Breathing here, and then lower that foot down, and then walk up to your chair, sit back into a chair pose, cross your right ankle over your left knee, and sit your hips back. And press up. Feet straight, ankles hip distance, always starting in neutral. Sit your hips back, cross your left ankle over your left knee. Watching, does the knee pop forward? Try to slide the hips back. That's the front of your hips and the front of the legs trying to take over and do the work, and it's pulling you forward. So if that's happening, you have to counteract that. And eventually, after you counteract it and you get really good at counteracting it, you might purposely go forward with your legs just to work your muscles in a different way. But that often takes quite a bit of time. And slowly come up. Okay, you'll walk your feet back wide again, weight back in the heels, this time elbows by your side. And from here, just like we did first time, we'll open our arms out to the side and we'll go in small increments. So you'll be out all the way, come in a little bit more to straight ahead. So open your elbows out to the side as much as they'll go with ribs dropping down, and rotate your forearms. Nice and slowly, no forcing. Breathing. Feel the connection up into your shoulders. Do you feel tension up into your neck? Is your chin always lifting up? Drop it down a little bit. I'm still working on that. All right, next time your palms flip up, sit back into a squat, breathing. Bring your hands in just a little bit. Flip your wrist down and up. Okay, straighten your legs. Bring your hands in a little more, not quite shoulder distance yet. One finger at a time. Tap your thumb to the center of your palm, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Good. Bring your hands straight ahead. Turn your hands into thumbs ups. Sit back into a squat. Hips slide back, inner thighs open. The thumbs pull back and curl in. Gently, small muscles. Thumbs pull back and curl in. Thumbs pull back and curl in. Thumbs pull back and curl in. Thumbs up, good job. Press into your feet, open your fingers, spread them out. Walk your feet back into hip distance apart, facing your chair. Walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs without dropping your hips below or your shoulders below your hips. And with palm face down, we'll lift the left arm into the air. Rotate thumb up, rotate palm up, palm down to the chair. Left arm lifts up, back your hips up. Rotate thumb up, rotate palm up, rotate hand down, hand back to the chair. Walk up a little bit, so elbows have a little bit of bend. Now you can also notice as you start working with your lower body, so push down through your left hip, lift your right leg into the air, back the weight up, pull that left hip back and in, lift up. Do you start clenching and leaning your body to one side? Notice that. Can you keep your body more equal to start to help use your leg muscles more equally too? Breathing. And then lower the foot down, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through the left hip, hug it in, reach your opposite leg back. Pull that thigh bone back, hug the hip in, lift through the back of the leg. Watch what happens with the upper body. On this side, this is my weaker leg and my upper body wants to twist more, so I'm just being aware of that. I'm trying to come back a little bit without forcing anything to put a little bit more load on that standing leg. And then from there, bring your foot down, walk back, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs, hands on either side of the chair. Then reach your right hand on top of your left hand, palm face down, hips pull back. Hips come forward a little, pinky finger side down, thumb up. Hips pull back. Hips come forward a little, back of the hands touch. Pull the hips back a little, breathing. And come up, switch sides. Left hand all the way to the left side of the chair. Start with palm face down. Hips pull back, nice long spine, nice long legs. Straight feet, ankles hip distance. Come forward a little, turn to the pinky finger side of the hand, thumb up. Pull the hips gently back, breathing. And come forward, maybe the palm rotates up. Pull the thigh bone straight back. And slowly come forward, and then from there, walk up to your chair. So, from your chair, come around to the seat of the chair. I want to show you, we haven't done these in a while, but I want to show you on the wall too. You can always get down on the floor on all fours and do these too, but rhomboid push-ups. You want your hands wide, shoulder distance preferably, so that's why it's not always ideal on a chair. You can see if my hands are shoulder distance and my fingers hang off. This is a pretty wide seat of a chair though. And then, but the main thing is you want to have your hands in a position that you're not like this, that your spine is not rounded to the ceiling. So if the spine is rounded, you could put something stacked, like thick blankets maybe that are a little bit stable. You could stack things higher and put your hands higher, and it will allow your spine to have more length. So keep that in mind, stack your hands if necessary. And then from here, we'll do rhomboid push-ups where we rotate our elbow pits to face towards our fingers. And with two straight arms, you just let your upper back drop down and lift up through your spine. But you'll notice as my spine goes up and down, my pelvis is not moving. So it's not doing this as I move. The pelvis stays steady, thigh bones back. That's one of the reasons you need your hands high enough, because otherwise it'll be really hard to just move from your upper back. And it's so often that I do these on all fours. It's really nice to do them standing sometime. Another option is, and when you lift up, you're feeling your armpits, your breastbone, your shoulder blades spread wide. Another option is to do them at the wall. So you can face the wall and put your hands shoulder height or a little bit lower than your shoulders. And then with two straight arms, just let your chest go between them. It's very tempting to bend the arms. So you want to try to keep your arms straight as your chest goes forward and then back up. Feel your armpits back up. Feel your upper back round a little bit. And your spine just goes forward and back. Forward and back. Elbows hug in a little. Forward and back. All right, wherever you are, if you have a wall space, put your forearms on the wall. Reach your right arm underneath your left elbow. Actually, I'm not sure which one that will be for you. Reach it through. Start with your palm face down. Pause, take a breath there. And then do your pinky finger side of your hand to the wall. Take a breath there. Back of the hand to the wall. Take a breath there. And thumb side of the hand to the wall, which is often the hardest rotation. Take a breath there. And then slide that arm out, elbows shoulder height. Reach your opposite arm through, palm faces the wall. Feet straight, ankles hip distance, hips back over the heels. Relax any clenching in the legs. Turn the pinky finger side of the wall, palm face down. Back of the hand to the wall. Thumb side of the hand to the wall. So the arm will come away a little bit. And bring that arm away. Now stand a little bit away from the wall, put one hand on the wall sideways, start with fingers up, feet straight, turn your chest. Now if you don't have a wall space where you practice with me, don't give up, don't skip this. There's very few things we can do that really, besides we move our arms a lot, we get into our chest muscles a lot, but this is a really good one for your chest. So you don't want to skip it. If you don't have a wall where you practice, then after class is done, find a wall and do these poses. Flip your fingers to point forward in the direction you're facing. And then turn your chest open a little, no forcing. Sometimes you don't even have to turn your chest at all, and you'll still feel those muscles down from your fingers, from your shoulder down to your fingers. And then unwind your chest, turn your fingers to point behind you. So from the back, they're pointing behind you. And then turn your chest open any amount. Ribs relax down. And then let's switch arms. Turn around. Start with fingers pointing straight up to the ceiling. Hand shoulder height. Sometimes we do different heights with this. Turn the chest open. What is your outside arm doing? Relax it. Is your shoulder pulling back? Relax it. Are your ribs lifting up? Relax them down. Are your hips forward over your heels? Back them up. Turn your fingers to point the direction you're facing. Maybe the chest turns open. Palm of the hand flat on the wall. And then rotate the fingers to point behind you. And turning the chest open any amount. What are you doing? Are you pulling that other shoulder back? So common that we pull back. If you want to change your shoulders, instead of pulling back, relax your shoulder, rotate your elbow pit to face the direction you're facing. All right, bring that hand away from the wall and then have a seat on your chair. Sitting up nice and tall, tilting your hips into neutral, ribs relax down, interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom, press away, start with your hands very low, try to keep that nice even interlace, thumbs gently spreading, and we'll slowly go a little bit to one knee, a little bit to the other knee. Bring your hands back to center, a little bit higher. Over to one knee, over to the other knee. Back to center, a little bit higher. Over to one knee, over to the other knee. Back to center, a little bit higher. Over to one knee, over to the other knee. Back to center. Release your hands down. Before we do the second crossing, so remember we did right pinky finger on the bottom, just check which one. You can either put the block inside your left foot or cross your right ankle over. Now, if you can't cross your ankle over your knee, you're just going to stay in the stretch and enjoy the stretch, because the stretch is what's going to eventually create the range of motion that you can get closer to your foot. But otherwise, how about weaving the fingers of, if it's your right ankle crossed over, weaving the fingers of your left fingers through the underside of your toes and trying to wiggle your fingers between your toes and spread your toes out a little bit. And then you can just move your toes back and forth very gently, small muscles, but very, very important muscles. Twisting your foot a little bit back and forth, a little bit side to side. You can hinge forward while you're moving your toes around. All right, come on up, release your fingers, uncross your ankle, sitting up tall, ribs relax down, interlace your left pinky finger on the bottom, start low, nice even interlace. If at any of the moves you feel your fingers splay away, do less range of motion, thumbs spread out, to one knee, to the other knee, to center without the ribs lifting, a little higher, to one knee, to the other knee, back to center, a little bit higher, to one knee, to the other knee, back to center, a little bit higher, to one knee, to the other knee, back to center, thumbs gently pull back, release your fingers, block inside the right foot or left ankle crosses over. Maybe the fingers of the right hand weave between the toes. At first, maybe just the fingertips. Over time, maybe you can get your fingers all the way through to the thicker part. And then you can move your toes back and forth a little bit and side to side a little bit, twisting the ball of the foot. And then you can hinge forward and do some moves here. Never forcing anything. Do less if it's high sensation, but that means you need to come back to this area of the body more often in different ways. All right, release those toes. Come on up, uncross, walk your feet a little bit wide, extend your left leg nice and long, heel down, toes up in the air, reach your left arm up and over. Good, then twist your belly button towards the floor. Untwist, bring your torso back up, bend your left knee, extend your right leg long out to the side, reach your right arm up and over. Twist your belly button to the floor. Unwind. And pull yourself back up. Stretch that leg in. Extend both legs long and hinge forward. Relax the shoulders. Let the chin drop all the way down. Maybe a little turn of your head, yes, and a little nod of your head, no. Or it's the opposite, but both of them. And then slowly come up and sit all the way back in your chair and let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. Become very present with your body and with your breath. Feeling your body, feeling your breath, staying present. When the mind wanders away, bring yourself back to the present moment, the flow of your breath, the sensations in your body. Sometimes we spend time waiting for the ideal path to appear, but it never does because paths are made by walking, not waiting. Don't let not knowing how it will end keep you from beginning today. Uncertainty chases us out into the open where life's true magic is waiting. Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being wise. Do the best you can until you know better. Once you know better, do better. As you struggle today, remember it's far better to be exhausted from lots of effort and learning than to be tired of doing absolutely nothing. What might seem like a setback is often an opportunity for you to learn something new and develop a more effective, more realistic strategy. The truth is, we need to spend some time crawling through the dark to fully appreciate what it is to stand in the sunlight. Your track record for getting through tough days is 100% so far. Bringing your hands together at heart center in gratitude for this day. Namaste.